zero.
We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be. Any
Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. I am Carolyn, and you are in the Mind of Nature hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. As you are coming in, please go ahead and share the live. We have a lot of great information lined up for you, so go ahead and share the live so we can have others be a part of the conversation. We are live streaming right now on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we are on Instagram. So, again, please go ahead and share the live so we can have others be a part of the conversation. Today, we are talking about a whole food, plant based shopping list. Now, that is something that a lot of people, always ask about. So, here we go. Whole Foods benefits a number of conditions. Okay. And then also plant based eating lifestyle, helping you lose weight and improving your health. Those are the things that we'll be discussing today. So, as you are coming in, go ahead and drop a comment. I see Shirley, Gentle Smart. Good morning to you. Go ahead and drop your comments. Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get started. Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. I am excited and good morning to Cheryl Lee, Nurse Cheryl Lee, and all the family and everybody that's here today. And it looks like we're going to do. Oh, good. Good morning to everybody over here on Instagram. Really appreciate you being here.
There's
Please
Dr.
follow us.
James. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dr. James. Let's keep a opening for Dr. James as he may want to come on and share a little bit. Always welcome. So yeah, it's going to be great. I want people to really think about. Well, first of all, I kind of cut myself off of the YouTube. I want to make sure that I say thank you for those of you that have been subscribing on YouTube. It's just been very beautiful, and we are also getting more members. Period. So I just really, or the, that I really want to thank everybody for becoming subscribers and following us because we've been working real hard to get your attention, and we've been working really these we're going into our fourth year now, and it's just I think it's about 4 years. What you think, Carolyn?
Whenever you ask that question, I always not for sure because I
Mhm.
don't. I kind of count Clubhouse, but then I don't because it is two different platforms.
But it's a part of our growth,
Yes,
so we had to count that, and we gave them about 2 years. So
yes.
we are very thankful, and I'm very happy to announce that I want everybody to keep this, write this in your books, because on the next what is it for the this is the 31st, but on the 7th we're going to have a wonderful recorded broadcast of our show, and Dr. James is going to join us right here on Mind of Nature, because we want to really share with you some of the greats and some of the people that you probably haven't even heard of before that have made giant contributions to medicine, black folks
Mhm.
in particular. So that's it's Black History Month. Get it? Yeah. Okay. We can put that together. So we want to make sure that you are there with us, 8 a.m. and that's next Saturday. This was a huge day for many reasons. So let's go ahead. I want to thank everybody also for the people that are here consistently. I mean that are here with us all the time, and we really want to. as much as they can. That is, and we really want to say thank you, and we want to thank you in advance for the things that you do to make this show thrive. How are you doing today, Carolyn?
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. Just ready for another beautiful Saturday here with the Mind of Nature and beyond.
Well, beautiful, because we're going to talk about the foods to eat on a whole foods plant-based lifestyle. So
Yes.
this is really important because a lot of times when people are making transitions from meat eating to plant-based, they you find that they are actually overdoing it in some areas and underperforming in other areas. So we want to just give you a little hint, a little help, and make things a little easier for you. So, if that is all for right now, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Whole Foods plant based shopping list. One of the things about this shopping list, I want you to write these things down or get this into your phone so that every time you get ready to go shopping, all you have to do is just simply click it on and bring it up, and you'll have a list for fruit, vegetables. And I'm saying these, I know you can't write this fast, but I'm going to put this down so you might want to record it and just keep it so you can pop it up. But these are the categories that you shop in: fruit, vegetables, starchy vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, legumes, seeds, nuts, and nut butters, unsweetened plant-based milks, spices, herbs, and seasoning, condiments, plant-based protein, and beverages. Okay, I'll go over some of these things really fast for you. Fruits. The fruit, when it comes there, you want to have fruits are edible plants. Fruit are edible plants with seeds. Technically, that's what a fruit is. So that includes avocados and tomatoes, and it also includes bell peppers, and those again edible. The edible plants that have seeds in them. Remember that because a lot of our cooking and combining foods and on different meals, there are plenty different fruits that go on those plates. But we don't want you to get too confused with all that. We'll come back to all that. So that keep in mind berries, citrus fruits, pears, peaches, pineapples, and they should be in your home. But don't overdo it. Don't buy from everything in the produce section. Remember, you want to time it out so that it doesn't spoil. When you get too much, you'll be throwing away money. Then you have vegetables, and that's the kale, your spinach, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your carrots, and asparagus, and peppers, all of those. And then right now, technically doesn't mean that much. Just get the idea, and you'll grow as we continue. Starchy vegetables would be potatoes and sweet potatoes, butternut squash. Whole grains would be your brown rice and rolled oats and farro, quinoa, uh, brown rice, barley, millet, on and on. Then we have like the healthy fats. I love to talk about this subject about healthy fats because they are very, very important. Healthy fats like avocados, uh, olive oil, unsweetened coconut oil, all of those are just really, really great. Then you have your seeds and nuts. You have the nut butters also. That comes from the nuts, of course, when that's in almonds, macadamia nuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. And all of these are really good, especially when we start talking about the prostate, keeping that prostate healthy. Okay. You don't have to, you can't avoid being older, but you don't have to feel and act like you're old. Okay, you get it. So it's important. If you are a certain age and you feel like you're old and you're convinced that you are old, then you're going to act like you're old. You're going to move like you're old. But being older doesn't have to clash with feeling better, okay, with feeling younger and youthful. And we have different types of oldness. Oldness, some people have just given up and they walk like they're old, they talk like they're old, they eat like they're old, they dress like they're old, they dance like they're old, and all of this is a part of the brainwashing that they go through on a daily basis about themselves. Let's move on to legumes, peas, chickpeas, lentils, and even peanuts. Some people are allergic to peanuts, but people can be allergic to many seeds and nuts and butter. So just make sure that you um, talk to an allergist or someone that specializes in different allergic reactions. And then we have spices, herbs, and seasonings. As a matter of fact, as far as allergist is concerned, Dr. James is one of the best. And if you have those questions when we're on air or when he's speaking other places, be sure to ask him. And he is, of course, he is a physician and he can give you a very qualified answer. Unsweetened plant milks or plant based milks like coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk, and so on. My favorite has become oat milk. It's so creamy and it's so goes well with those dishes that I prepare that call for dairy, but of course that's non-dairy. Condiments such as salsa, mustard, nutritional yeast, soy sauce. Soy sauce has so much salt in it, you might want to do something else there. But the different types of condiments are very important, including the lemon juice, to make food enhance the flavor. And then there's plant protein, and that comes in tempeh, it comes in tofu, different sources or powders with no sugar added. And lastly, there's the beverages. And when it comes to beverages, there's the coffee, the tea, and there's water, of course. And people make other juices that with carrots and celery and um, cilantro. Yeah, on and on. There's different ways. It depends on what you prefer. Okay, here we see a lot of the different types of dishes you want to fill your house with, or fill that meal with the combination of the greens. Look at all the green and the orange, the gold, the purple, the browns, and the off white, the orange, all of those are just beautiful. Yeah. And then you have look at all of these different colors. And I'm looking at one of my favorite beans. Garbanzo beans are just simply delicious. And here you have your guacamole. I mean, it's just so many things that you can do. And they are ample. There are so many vegetables, so many fruits that you don't run out. People are used to apple, orange, and banana, and there's a whole forest of an array of different foods that people can eat. Okay. Next, a little bit about some of the foods that to minimize, so you don't have to eat so much of these. I'll put all of the beef, pork, sheep, poultry, eggs, dairy. All of those are on the minimized list, and I would also work on because we're talking about the full spectrum of nutritional science. We want you to take your time, but know that eventually what you want to do is eliminate the beef and the pork and the sheep. These are emergency foods. These are the foods that we eat if we have nothing else to eat. But it's not something that you are eating on a daily basis. And we can talk about that a little more, but I'm not here to um, recruit you, but I am here to enlighten you so that you're not just eating because, but you're eating for a cause. And when we come up and you're eating oxtails and you're eating cow tongue and you're eating um, chicken brains and pig brains and all of those kinds of things. I want you to think about that. You're eating colons. We call them chitlins, but that's hog maws. And then you got pork skins and all of those things. You clog up your body with this food that isn't healthy. And then what happens is later on, you're diagnosed with something that you didn't have any idea you even had, but it had to get really bad for you to feel it. So, again, remember, get an examination. If you're not getting an examination, I don't care how much you think you know, you can always learn more. Nobody knows everything about anything. Okay, then the sample meals. Now, this is really important because I want to help you um, include the fruit, the healthy fats, the protein, the vegetables, and the whole grains. I want you to include that in your meals. Eat, eat like a king and a queen. Make sure your family eats like the royal family, and you can do that by just choosing some really wonderful foods. I want you to write down or type down, or however you're going to store this information, the 7 days of the week. And then start off with a simple way. Just give me 3 meals. I'm not going to put times on them or anything. I'll suggest, but don't worry. The main thing is to get the 7 days down. If you got the 7 days down, up under each day, right? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Most of you that are listening to me have not done this, and most people that don't listen to us at all, not even thinking about it, because they're still doing this. They eat when they're hungry, and usually when they're hungry is something that when they're famished, they want to eat. It makes it easy for them to make really weak choices, because when you start to allow yourself to get hungry, it's already past the time that you should have eaten. Getting it? Get it? So like Monday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tuesday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All the way to Sunday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You want to start off with Monday with something like oatmeal and made with like coconut milk, topped with berries and coconuts and walnuts. Then, like for lunch, you can have a large salad, and that can be topped with fresh vegetables, chickpeas, avocados, pumpkin seeds, and you can have whatever may make it taste a little better. If you like some people like the cheese, and some people are buying the artificial cheese. Artificial cheese is usually not a good choice because it is ultra processed, and you may want to think about that before you start putting like goat cheese and all the different mozzarella cheese and American and all the different type of cheeses. And then dinner, you might want to have just butternut squash curry with tempeh, something really small. You don't have to have these huge dishes. On Tuesday, you do the same thing. Breakfast, you want to have like a full fat plain yogurt. And remember, you can get plant-based yogurt. You don't have to buy the yogurt that comes from an animal. Then you have the lunch. Lunch, you want to have a meatless chili. I'm telling you, I can do the best vegan chili you ever had before. It's just really wonderful. And a lot of people are great with this because we're getting back to the kitchen. That's really good. And we need to stay in that kitchen so that we can prepare our foods. If you're in a family and your family is used to eating a certain way, but you know that it's not healthy, let it be you that starts with the examples. Make those examples, not to run them away by saying you shouldn't be eating this and this is going to do this to you and all that. Make an example. And why are you eating like that? Because it makes me healthier. Okay, so keep that in mind. Dinner would be a sweet potato and some black bean tacos. You see, and real small stuff. You don't have these giant dishes like look like big serving platters, and people are eating now this on a daily basis. Again, color, 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 color. We want to make sure that all of us we're eating all of these different colors, and they make the dish look so good. We also have Chef Dom. If you don't know who Chef Dom is, you can definitely look up Chef Dom so that you can find out more about how to prepare foods. He is exquisite. He does a lot of wonderful things, especially these vegan dishes. Really, really important. And it's good to have a chef and other professionals that you are following because they're going to give you the best information, the information that is tied to or connected with evidence. And what is that evidence? Is science. And that is the purpose of science, is to prove or to bring to you or produce evidence. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, so there it is. Now you have your shopping list, and you also have your 7-day. You started off your 7-day eating lifestyle or 7-day eating plan or meal plan. So this is how you do it. Put that pencil to paper and get it done. And we don't have to talk about it. Let's do it. Again, the plant-based plate. Now we always, Dr. James and I, we went over the upside down triangle, or they call it the pyramid, but I wouldn't put that on the pyramid. But this is very important. When you look at like your plant-based plate, you have your fruit, you have healthy fats, protein, you have your vegetables, and you have whole grains. Now, all of these that you look on here are all very necessary for a regulated bowel movement. If your bowels aren't moving, your body is absorbing toxins. So you want to get rid of the waste. You don't want to carry it around. And again, for those people that are nurses, those people that are physicians, those people are others, specialists in various areas. Remember, many times we get caught up with what we think we know, and some of us really feel that we don't even have to have any help because we're going to figure it out for ourselves. But please take time to get an examination to see how you are doing. There are so many asymptomatic situations that you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you don't or aren't walking around or living from day to day, not feeling something that is hurting you or injuring you. So it's really important that you take time to find out more about yourself. Those examinations, and start getting them like every 6 months or once a year at least, so that you can enjoy what you've been blessed with. And that's this beautiful life that all of us are so fortunate to have. You want to also put in that kitchen all of the foods, like if it's canned goods, if it's bread. Remember, you can freeze bread. You don't have to let it go bad. Then you have your vegetables. You want to make sure that the vegetables are at the right temperature. You don't want it to be too cold. You want to have temperatures. I'll get you some temperatures also, so that you'll know the correct temperatures for the refrigerator. You also should know the temperatures for the oven. Bake at 350 or 375, about 375, and then you have different um, uh, temperatures that you cook the meat, the roast, and all that with. I'm not uh, uh, propagating that, so I won't even go over that. But you have plenty examples of that because that's the way most people eat. But I want you to start eating more fresh foods and the plates that are very colorful. This is how we do it. All right, I'm going to stop right there, and we're going to get back to the wonderful care. So we can talk. We want to come back. I want to talk to you more about the whole food benefits. It benefits a number of conditions, and we're going to go through those conditions with you. Okay. All right, Care.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and do some shout outs over here. Darcel, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. There's a quote that says, "Don't look back. You're not going that way." Mary Engelbright, I believe. Thank you for for sharing that quote. I appreciate it. Denise Kane, happy good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. For everyone just coming in, hello. We are talking about, really, Dr. Zara just mentioned or just went over the plant-based shopping list, which is something that I know a lot of people are always so very interested in having. So whenever you're just starting out going plant-based, you wonder when you go into the stores, what am I able to get, and the things that I need to stay away from. So I always think that that's a great topic as far as your plant-based shopping list. And something you mentioned when you are shopping, to not get everything that's on that list, especially like the produce. You know, you mentioned go ahead and time it out, and because you don't want things to like spoil or not, you know, you're not able to get to it before you have to throw it away. So that's something to always make sure you keep in mind whenever you are shopping and you're getting your produce and things like that, because you are going to say, oh, I need this and this and this and this and this, but not all at once. That's
Yeah.
something that I definitely had to learn.
Well, that's a great point that you're making, Carolyn. The when it gets down to your food, you should make it fun. You are running the situation. You're the captain. You're the chef of the kitchen. And that makes you responsible, or at least gives you the responsibility to choose foods. You don't want to eat the same fruit every day. You just mix it up.
Yes.
You don't want to eat, and eat something different. Just don't eat the same things every day. A variety is very important. And then you want to make sure that you take time and sketch out a couple. Start with one meal. You're going to do one day, one meal perfectly,
Yeah.
exactly what you want.
Uh-huh.
And you'll be surprised, over 30 days, you'll have entire menu, and you have a wonderful idea of what you want to eat on a daily basis. Stop getting out of bed and have no idea what you're going to put in your mouth, have no idea how much, you have no idea what you're doing it for. See, and that's how we've been taught to be blind to this, because then that means that we eat not by choice but impulsivity. Impulsivity means that you don't think before you act. So you don't want to be impulsive there. You want to know, you want to choose it. If you are a professional, act like it. Make sure that you write down these things, and you can also pass it on to other people that aren't focused on medicine or health as much as you are. Okay. And all of us got a little degree of what's good, what's not, even children. But we'll get to that at another time. But keep in mind that when you go shopping, just like Carolyn was saying, that you are in charge. So write those days down: Monday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner; Tuesday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As we get along, like, all of you can't just, like, I teach the circadian rhythm and when and what to eat and how much time is going to take, all that stuff, the sun, and then the sun goes down, all of those things. But you might not be ready for that right now. So what we're doing is suggesting starting off with your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We want the 7 days, start off with one meal at a time. Even if you're like, get your water down. You might, I'm not ready for the food part because I still want to eat what I want to eat, but make sure that you get the 64 ounces of water per day. Make sure that you start doing that, and that's going to be a lot for people that don't do it. So you're going to be turned off because you're like, oh man, this is so much water. That's what. But then when you think about, your brain needs water to function properly, so does your liver and your spleen, so does your stomach, your heart, so does your olfactory system. That's hearing, your tasting,
Smell.
your smelling, touching. That's not all. Olfactory isn't all that, but I'm just saying that other things such as your nerves, your senses, and that's how we're turned on the food. Everybody, we're turned on the food through our five senses. Think about it. When you like something that you eat, you like the way it looks, you like the way, or you don't have a problem with the way it looks. You okay? So you have like, the way it looks, the way it smells, the aroma from it, the way it feels, the texture of it, right? The way it sounds, if it's crunchy or not, and of course, the way it tastes. So we are actually vulnerable to these commercials that come on, and you have a dripping burger. They know how the sloppier, the juicier, the better. And you have people that's like, I can't wait to eat. And
Right.
some people that just finish eating, they want to eat more even after they finish because they want to get that tight belly feeling. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm full now. But full doesn't mean that you're nourished, because if you're eating junk, your body cannot extrapolate nutrients from non-nutrients or junky food or fast foods. Okay. And I'm sure you already knew that. Okay, let's move on here to look at some of the other ideas. Zucchini noodles tossed into pesto, with I put chicken meatballs here, but you can use like the non-dairy meatballs here. They also have turkey meatballs.
You
Uh,
said non-dairy. You mean like the plant ones?
yes, like Impossible
Yes. Okay.
in meatballs. People eat those, and then they still have the texturized vegetable protein.
Oh.
If you've been around for a while, you probably are familiar with that. That's not as popular as it's been, but people still use texturized vegetable protein to make that ground beef
Mm-hmm.
vibe. Okay, all right. So we have other things too that the Saturday, I wanted to put the Saturday and Sunday doesn't mean that you just start throwing junk in your body. It means that you have to still, that is still a part of your healthy eating. So some people use, oh, this the weekend, man. I eat it whatever I want to. I drink as much beer as I want to. I drink as much wine as I want to. Oh man, this is my smoking days. So you have to be really conscious about that if you really want if we want to avoid things like a heart attack. The heart is connected to everything, and when anything happens in the heart, you what you got is something that's going to affect the entire body. Okay, when we talk about the whole foods that benefits a number of conditions, one of those conditions, I go to the heart because the heart still is the leading cause of death in the United States. nearly half of all adults have heart disease. Experts predict the number will continue to rise. The risk is higher for males and increases for all genders with age. So the people that work out, for instance, you should, and no matter what age, walk. If you can't, if a bicycle is too much for you, walk. You don't, things like scooters and all that stuff. Some of you might be adjusted to that, but you want to move in some kind of way, because more the causes, the heart disease also cause more than 1 out of 3 maternal deaths in the United States. 1 out of 3 maternal deaths, and this is when we're talking about women that have complications during pregnancy. That may be one of them, and then other different problems that they may have with the heart. Black Americans are the most affected in the United States, and we've been saying that, but that doesn't mean anything to anybody if you're eating what you want to eat, when you want to eat it, how much you want to eat it, and you're not paying attention to your the different commands or the different rules that you set for yourself, or what you're hearing now, because some people just say, the hell with that, I'm going to eat what I want to eat. And it's not to your advantage to eat whatever you want to eat. You want to eat what complements your body for better health, for better performance, and to feel better. Next is cancer. So cancer is also one of the difficulties or the conditions that a person can have, because the cancer, as far as research actually suggests that following a plant-based diet, it may reduce the risk of certain types of cancer. And this was a study that was done of over 169,000 people, suggest following a healthy plant-based diet, because it could be associated with a lower risk of breast cancer. And women, I want you to hear this, because this is something that perhaps you don't have to face a radical mastectomy, or you don't have to face even the thought that you have cancer. Make sure you again get the examinations, and make sure that you're consistent, because many times, because we have the examinations, what it does is it may give us a greater advantage in making necessary medical corrections. Sometimes people wait too long, and it's past the time that they can really be helped in a way to rid the problem. So please get your examinations. Similarly, the other, I have a problem with that. Uh, what I wanted to say here is I'm just kind of making fun of myself, because I was similarly, and so, but that happens. So anyway, we can't cut. Let's keep on moving. Another recent study also showed that the greater consumption of nutritious plant-based foods was associated with a lower risk of aggressive forms of prostate cancer, especially in men under 65 and men that are Black. I don't know why. I can give you a few educated guesses, but I do know that the recent studies that I just stated here shows, and it proves that the plant-based foods were associated with lower risk of aggressive forms. And that means, like, when a person has a high Gleason score, and the attack is on their prostate, where they are graduating or getting more into it, becoming more severe. So we need something that can counter that. And this again, using some of the right foods and the right attitude and some physical activity, getting rest, being around a wonderful environment. All of these are very important. Furthermore, a 2022 review. This one concluded that plant-based diets could be tied to lower risk of digestive system cancers. That's including pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, rectal, and colorectal cancers. So that is huge because you can't get, like when people get there, if you got your colon taken out, you can't replace it with another one. Not yet, anyway. They might down the line somewhere find other ways to do things, but don't take for granted that there's an answer for all of your woes. Now, I'm gonna say this too. This reminds me of when there are people that actually think that like somebody may have a cure, and you think that when people say that we have a cure or we have some kind of answer to cancer or other diseases, you might be barking up the wrong tree, as they say, because many people, when they know that there is some kind of cure or some answer or something to help to mitigate a certain diseases, what do? They get even more careless, more ruthless, and they end up eating or continuing to eat in a certain way until the disease shows up in some kind of form. And then when it's irreversible, then you're facing with the problems that you don't want to have to go through that in life. Okay, then there's another cancer. I'm just there's many cancers. I'm just naming a few that come to mind, and some that are very prevalent in our society. The Stomach cancer. I'm just so excited about this. Uh, Stomach cancer. This is one that actually this includes, or it may give you signs and symptoms of indigestion, heartburn, and bloating. And then you have the loss of appetite, and you have unexplained weight loss. You have early satiety. You have, and satiety again is being full or being satisfied when you're eating, knowing when you've had enough. And then bloody or black stools. So looking at your waste in the toilet will give you an indication of what's going on in your stomach. And nausea along with vomiting with or without blood. If you're nauseous, you're very nauseous, you really are facing a lot of the things that you don't necessarily have to face. So when you have that you're nauseated or you have the vomiting with or without the blood, that's something that you need to go and check on. Something that, and don't worry about the mistakes that you make. Like suppose if you go and you think that you have something and you don't really have anything, and you go back again and you thought that you had something but you don't have anything. You are still moving, you are still living, you are still doing the things that you're here to do on earth. Be glad that you don't have anything, but do not discontinue the habit of getting yourself checked out. Mistakes are going to be made. That's definitely not a mistake that you want to hold against yourself. I make mistakes so much. I mean, but you know what? When you have that high quota of mistakes, you're also learning things because mistakes are there to teach you. and that sometimes can be hard for people to do because they feel that um, maybe they should be a little more than that. And then I want to say this one more thing about the breast cancer, because the early diagnosis is the best treatment for breast cancer. Some of the things you can look at for breast cancer, or look for, or some of the early signs would be like a lump in the breast. Of course, you pulled a pulled in nipple. You can tell the difference by comparing it with your other nipple. Um, Pitting on, or the pitting of your breast skin, the little pits that it may have uh, in the breast. And then you have breast or nipple pain. Like you've ever brushed up against your nipple, and you'll feel the pain there, or pressure in your breast. You find yourself not wanting to lie down on the front, the anterior. You want to, lie down on the back. And then you also may have bloody discharge. So, that is not something that you just wipe off, but you take a photo of it, and you can go to your um, oncologist, or your OBGYN, you find out what is going on with your body. So this is super important. And I want to do one more, because this is something that comes up, especially in the Black community, and that's lung cancer. So when we're talking about lung cancer, we're talking about the symptoms, the causes, the types, and the diagnoses. So we do know that when you're having to deal with cancers, a lot of times time is super important, simply because it spreads. So metastasizes, it moves about the body. So you don't want that to happen, because then multiple myeloma is one of the cancers that come to mind from the rapid spreading throughout the body, and it can definitely wreak havoc on the entire body. And this is something that you may be able to avoid by being consistent with your examinations. Make sure you go and get it checked out. Make sure that you stick to your calendar, and make sure you act like your life depends on it, because it definitely does depend on it. Okay. All right. Let's move ahead, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I have to talk about cognitive decline. Now, some of the studies that they actually suggest that the diets rich in vegetables and fruits may help slow down and prevent cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease in older adults. Now, your plant-based diets contain a higher number of plant compounds and antioxidants, which, according to some test tube and animal studies. So this may help slow down the progression of Alzheimer's disease, and reverse. Yes, I'm using that word, and reverse cognitive deficits. So that's great news. And this is science. This is not opinion, but it's science. So keep that in mind while we are also sharing. Now, in many studies, the higher intakes of fruit and vegetables have been strongly associated with the reduction of cognitive decline. So, by eating all the different color fruits that we were talking about earlier, and let's look at some more here. I think I have fruit. You know what fruit is, but just again having the different colors. Now, cucumbers and avocados and tomatoes, which are used also very much in the vegetable category, but these are technically fruit. Okay, An older study of nine studies from 2017 included over 31,000 people and found that among participants in the nine studies, adding 100 grams or 3.5 ounces of fruit and vegetables to a participant's diet led to a 13% reduction in risk of developing cognitive impairment and dementia. This is huge because it doesn't take a lot. It's only taking 3.5 ounces. 3.5 ounces. That is not even as heavy as some apples, pears, bananas. You see, so you need a small amount. 100 grams is the same weight as 100 paper clips, for instance. Okay. Now, other studies in older adults have found that healthy plant based eating patterns with an abundance of fruit, vegetables, and whole grains, and with a limited intake of animal foods and processed foods, may be associated with a reduced risk of cognitive impairment and a slower decline in brain function. So we definitely need to eat that because we really are seeing so many people that are being stricken by different diseases, and over time you'll have people that are definitely having big problems with remembering, or short-term memory, long-term memory. So it's really, which, do things like, different exercises can help you with your brain. There's different games that you can play on YouTube for anti, cognitive decline. And then you have other things, like you can remember the alphabet. Just start from the alphabet, by heart. Most people do anyway. But, if you start from ZYX, W, you know, VUTSRQ, when you start going and you start remembering this stuff, then you'll have more people that are that conscious of using their brain for memory. And it's really, yeah, I know it just sounds weird that I just said that, but being conscious of your brain and using your brain, thinking like, I got this, I can figure this out, things that you relate to in your memory to help you to recall certain things. It has to be conscious. Everything just doesn't happen subconsciously. So that's that for now. I want to go back over to Karen and see if we have any questions, and I want to come back. I wanted to give me just 1 second here. I want to talk a little bit about diabetes. Adopting the whole food plant-based diet just may be an effective tool in managing and reducing the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Now, this also happens in the Black community more than any other culture. An older study in 2016 it was about more than 200,000 people that found those who adhere to a healthy plant-based eating pattern had a 34% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes than those who followed unhealthy non-plant-based foods. And we want this to be about plant-based and non-plant-based, but look, there are also some anger-based and some other based fear-based studies that we should keep in mind too. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. We're almost there, and go back to Care. Okay, I think I went a little bit too fast for Care for right now. But, oh, there you go. All right. Yeah.
Yes, you did. I was ready and then I wasn't.
Yeah.
No, I'm being silly. But yes, thank you so much. I think one of the things I'm going to add to my list of things to help with my cognitive, you know, like my memory is learning the alphabets backwards. Because when you said that, I was like, oh, that's something that I never thought of doing, but
Mhm.
definitely something that I'm sure would benefit and be great for memory and just the brain work. Want to say hello, good morning to Reverend Diva. Excuse me, Reverend Dr. Diva D. Coates. There it is. Good morning. Good morning
That
to
name getting longer and longer.
what up though? What up though to you? Dr. James Thompson, he says, are there specific vitamins or supplements we should consider to preserve our brain, or are they not needed if we're plant based?
Yes, that's a very good question. One of the things is that as far as vitamins and minerals, a multivitamin and mineral should be fine because the brain is definitely it depends on a balance. It also depends on glucose, so we have to make sure that we're not overdoing it with glycemia, and then we not getting enough sugar is hypoglycemia, and this is we don't want to do that because severe cases can be a representation of organs that are shutting off. Some of the things that are super important would be minerals. Minerals are super important for brain health because through the cobalt, the copper, the zinc, your potassium, all of those different minerals, and there's many more. They are there to take the signals that the communication that our hands have with our brain and our eyes moving and swallowing and breathing, the volunteer and involuntary things that we do with the human body are all depends on the electricity that runs through our body. The electricity that runs through our body is definitely very important when it comes to the brain because the brain is a whole batch of neurons, and through that we have the all of the um, electricity that's bouncing off the brain, such as the dendrites, the synapses when we have thought. All of those are mainly primarily getting its energy from the electricity because we are also electrical beings. So there you have it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that question, Dr. James, and thank you for that explanation, Dr. Zari. I
Yeah.
appreciate
I
it.
really want to like black men. I don't think that y'all hear me when I say that there are some things that we have a vulnerability, and we need to take better care of ourselves. There are different ways that your prostate can be checked without you being embarrassed about doing it. Some guys, they have a hard time even talking about it because there's a DRE involved. That means a direct digital erecto. DRE is a digital. R is for recto. E is for examination. So that digital rectal examination can scare the hoots out of somebody if they don't if they're still basing their thoughts on old approaches. So the DRE is hardly ever even used. Many doctors don't use it at all because they have so many. They have other alternatives, and I just wanted to say that because black men are dying from prostate cancer more than any other culture.
Mhm.
And it's very hard to see somebody that you love to no end, just disappear before your eyes slowly but surely. So keep that in mind. Care?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that, Dr. Zarif. There's something additional that Dr. James mentioned as far as the vitamins. Um,
Okay.
Make sure your vitamin selection has adequate B12.
Yes, the B12 is super important. B12 actually acts like one of A, D, E, and K, which are the fat soluble vitamins, and B12 is the cyanocobalamin that acts differently. It acts like a fat and is stored in the liver and the muscle, and it acts like a fat, one of the essential vitamins that are fat, called fat soluble vitamins. So yeah, that's very important. And there are other things that we don't get as much when you become vegan. So it's good to get a real multiple vitamin for those. Some people don't believe that they work, and that's up to you. But I'm letting you know it's best to have something there than nothing at all. And this will help you as far as the balance. Again, you hear me say balance, equilibrium, homeostasis. It's very important that you eat those things that are healthy, that you eat them at certain times. You don't want to eat liver and rice, smothered with onions, gravy, and Kool-Aid. That we don't have to eat like that anymore. Some people do that so they take like go back in history, or go back in time, I should say, because they love that feeling, because they're connected with the taste and the smell, and all the things that go with that. So, did you want to say something here? Okay. All right. Okay, good. Kara will be back in a second.
Here,
We want to go down here. Oh goodness, it is
I'm back.
time. All
I
right.
know. I know that it is time. I don't know if you want to go to the next one right away or if you want to wait. But
Well, I'm going to save these. We can talk about them later, but the plant based eating lifestyle can help you to lose weight, and it can help you to improve your health. So keep that in mind. Also, want you to take away that adopting a whole foods plant based diet is also good for our planet. And we can talk about those things. I have uh, you know, probably something like 63 studies that are really great studies that will surprise you. And to wrap it all up, when it's so hard, this goes so fast. But I want to wrap it up by saying that the whole foods plant-based diet celebrates plant foods and minimizes animal products and highly processed foods. Now, everybody that's listening, everybody isn't a vegan, everybody isn't whole food plant-based, everybody doesn't eat meat. And then those that do eat meat may eat just fish, or just fish and chicken, and all. It's different levels, right? But the plant-based diets that have been linked to several health benefits. That's the main thing I want you to keep in mind, including reducing the risk of heart disease, certain cancers, obesity, diabetes, and cognitive decline. Plus, the transitioning to more plant-based diet is an excellent choice for our planet, regardless of the type of whole foods plant-based diet you choose. Um, Adopting this way of eating is sure to boost your health. So, however you start, remember, start if it starts with a glass of water. Every day at 7 o'clock, you drink a glass of water. And maybe then the next day, you're going to add another one at 5 p.m., and then so on and so on. And you can do it by doing it a little at a time, and be convinced that you have what it takes to rise above the challenge. Okay, we're going to go back to Kara before we sign off. Thank you, everybody over at Instagram. We have BJ the Boss, Soul to Soil Wellness, at Warrior for Christ. And we also have the Sky Aim production along with is this Sita Mayana. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate you for being here. Okay, Karen?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Zarif. I just wanted to make sure we mentioned the 28-day Kickstart plant-based eating. That is a free session, plant-based Kickstarter that Dr. James is leading. And so I just wanted to make sure that you mentioned that if you have not registered for this free for sessions. We have 2 sessions left. They have 2 sessions left. But go ahead and register for it. It's free. It's great information that they're sharing on each Zoom call. The next one is Tuesday, February the 3rd. They will have a certified cardiologist speaking in regards to health and just being the best you for the new year. So just wanted to make sure if you have not registered, go ahead and register. You can use the QR code that you see right here in the corner. You'll go ahead and just put your phone up to it and it will send you a link for you to go ahead and register, putting your name and all the things. It's going to email you the Zoom link so you can be a part of it. I know it's 5 p.m. Pacific time, and that would be what, 4 Central. See, I get mixed up with that, but just know it's 5 p.m. Pacific time, and then 2 hours earlier for Central, and then 3 hours earlier for Eastern. I just
Very good.
make sure we went ahead and mentioned that. So this would be the third session on February the 3rd.
And it's very exciting. Great speakers, great audience, great reaction, great questions. It's very well attended, but we need your attend. We want you to attend because nobody can get the information for you. You got to get it for yourself, and I think that you will love being there because the things that you don't, it's some things that you just may think that you've known for years, and then somebody will bring it up and then they'll give you evidence of why it is or isn't a certain way, and you're on your way. It's beautiful once you get into that vibe. We're going to have to get out of here. Everybody have a beautiful weekend, and really thank you, Kara. Thank you for listening. Those people that are on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and anywhere else you see us, we really thank you. And thank you for subscribing. Keep doing it. We're moving up there, but we need you. We can't do it without you. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.